Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 195. It is Friday today here in Cincinnati. It's so pretty. It's about, I think it's going to 80 degrees. The sun is shining. The birds are singing outside the window. You'll probably hear them throughout this recording. Blue skies, puffy clouds. It's just awesome. I mowed the lawn this morning and I was just looking at the flowers, and as soon as I was done I had to go around and take pictures of all the different flowers. Everything right now is just in the most beautiful blooming phase, and I am so grateful. I've had my feet in the grass and I'm looking at all these colors and flowers and just feeling such love, such abundant love for this incredible planet that we get to play on and see and experience and feel and smell and listen. It's just incredible. So it's Friday, and this week we have explored some of the choices that we make. The first one to actually come here, to be in this planet, to play in human bodies. What? Why? And then we looked at how we can really have conditioned choices, that we do things, we say things, we believe things, we act on things in order to stay in the crowd, to stay accepted, to stay part of the community, to feel a sense of belonging. And then how sometimes life will bring us reflections or new awarenesses, and when we are able to be silent, to go in, to feel truth in new ways, sometimes the choices that we make from that space are going to lead us in different directions. Hopefully ones that are more in alignment with our soul and more in alignment with harmony and the sense of being one. You know, the earth and humanity and source, we're all one energy. So yesterday I took the day off to play with a beautiful friend of mine who is just dancing in this new love that she is just reveling in. And so I came home just feeling, the possibilities when love expands and how beautiful that is. And then today, my friend Alicia Mathieson released her album that is called 12 Rebirth. And it's on Spotify and iTunes and Bandcamp and everywhere you need to listen to it, it's available. And so I was listening to some of the tracks while I was running errands and cranking the volume up, singing along with her, loving the steady vibration that she offers of love in every one of these songs. And I was just in love with love this morning. And so when I sat down to meditate and to feel into how do we wrap up this week that has covered such big topics, how do we tune into the possibilities as we arrive tomorrow at a full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is very much about uncovering, looking into the places that we want to normally hide from, bringing them into the light, and being so courageous and brave when we do that. At least that's my interpretation of Scorpio. You can look up other ones, but that's mine. And so this idea of rebirth, I kept playing with that in my meditation. Of course, there is an Osho Zen card titled Rebirth. So I bring to you in this moment what Osho has to say about rebirth. The card, first of all, it's a picture of there's a lower third of the card that looks like it's gray and clouds and sort of dark. And then above that, the top 2/3 of the card are moving into yellows and then all the way at the top into white. So it sort of shows the rising up out of the fog, coming up above the veil, going from the darkness all the way into the light. In the bottom third of the card is a camel, a really cute camel, but a camel. And then rising out of his head and his back are the lower hind legs of a lion going the other direction. And so the lion is like standing up on his hind legs and roaring, and his face is turned to look right at the light. And when the lion turns to look at the light, there's this beautiful little child that's coming up out of the lion, and the child is playing a flute and just so sweet and innocent. And so you can see the different phases of what Osho describes. I'll post a picture of the card in the Soulshine Trod on Facebook if you want to see it. So here's what Osho says. Rebirth, card number 10. 10 is always about new beginnings. It's in the whatever they call the deck, the area of the deck that's called the clouds, which is all about the mind. In Zen, you are coming from nowhere, and you are going to nowhere. You are just now, here, neither coming nor going. Everything passes by you. Your consciousness reflects it, but it does not get identified. When a lion roars in front of a mirror, do you think the mirror roars? Or when the lion is gone and a child comes dancing, the mirror completely forgets about the lion and starts dancing with the child. Do you think the mirror dances with the child? The mirror does nothing. It simply reflects. Your consciousness is only a mirror. Neither do you come, nor do you go. Things come and go. You become young, you become old. You are alive, you are dead. All these states are simply reflections in an eternal pool of consciousness. The commentary says this card depicts the evolution of consciousness as it is described by Friedrich Nietzsche in his book, Thus Spake Zarathustra. He speaks of the 3 levels of camel, lion, and child. The camel is sleepy, dull, self-satisfied. He lives in delusion, thinking that he's a mountain peak, but really he is so concerned with others' opinions that he hardly has any energy of his own. Emerging from the camel is the lion. Side note, this is what I talked about in that Conditioning Choices podcast. When we step out of the crowd, when we remember that we're a lion, and we step out of the flock of sheep, we are breaking the chains of conditioning. We are becoming something new. Back to the commentary. Emerging from the camel is the lion. When we realize we've been missing life, we start saying no to the demands of others. We move out of the crowd, alone and proud, roaring our truth. But this is not the end. Finally, the child emerges, neither acquiescent nor rebellious, but innocent and spontaneous and true to his own being. Whatever the space you're in right now, sleepy and depressed or roaring and rebellious, be aware that it will evolve into something new if you allow it. It is a time of growth and change. Thank you, Osho. It was so good. So why do I tune into this card? Besides the fact that Alicia's album is titled Rebirth, and I'm talking about Rebirth on the same day that her album releases. Besides that, why is her album releasing on this Friday? Why is this card so present? Why are so many people stirring? Why are so many people frustrated, projecting, feeling the sense of dissatisfaction, not quite sure what's wrong, but knowing something is not the way it could be? but not quite knowing how to get there, feeling off. So you can listen to all of those words. When we are evolving, when we are waking up, when we start remembering that there is this beauty and light and innocence and play that sits inside of us, that underneath all the layers of responsibility and expectations and judgments and deadlines and overwhelm, underneath all of that, there is this beautiful light that sits inside of each one of us. Always. It's the spark of creativity, of life that we were all birthed with. And as humans, the density of this human journey can start to cover up that light, hide that light, make us forget that we have a light, have us believe that the light is only turned on by someone outside of us. Or maybe it never turns on. All of that it's this veil of illusion or delusion, or a sense of just resigning to the ho-hum, the doldrums of life. That's not all of the story. There is a moment, a possibility of rebirth that is available to each one of us, a sense of remembering that this light is inside of us, this joy is inside of us, that when we start to tune into it, it becomes bigger, it becomes brighter, it starts to expand. Pretty soon it's bubbling inside of us and there's no stopping it. And so we're annoying the people around us because we're happy, or we are smiling for no reason, or we're feeling connected to nature, connected to the sunshine, connected to the water, connected to music. Whatever ways the light is starting to wake up inside of us, it's a bubbling, effervescent joy. It just feels good. It feels good. And for many of us, that is so unusual or so disconcerting that we want to go back to being that sleepy camel. We want to shut down that feeling that makes us a little different, or that sense that things could be good. Well, it can't get that good, can't be that great. We're going to have to bring it back down, people. Right? Bring it back in. Why? Why? The child that is in absolute joy and delight, why do we tell that child to stop being full of joy? Why don't we get this child, instead of just having a flute, do you want a drum? Do you want 2 drums? Do you want a guitar? Do you want maracas? Do you want a stage? Do you want a stage that you can stand on so more people can see you play? Do you want a microphone so you can sing? What would bring you more joy? How do we bring you all of the things that will expand your joy, expand your light? These offerings that I'm sharing, bringing you a drum, bringing you whatever else you ask for, that's what the light of Source or God or creative energy inside of us is always saying. What else would you like? What more can I bring you? Because whatever it is you ask for, I will bring it to you. But you've got to have your eyes open to look down and see that you're on a stage, to look down and see all the instruments that are sitting around you. If your eyes are closed and you're just playing the flute and getting tired of playing the flute and believing no one's watching or feeling or experiencing the joy with you, at some point you might just lay down and fall asleep, even with the flute in your hand. So open your eyes. Open your eyes and look, see, feel the beauty of this life. And yes, ask for more. Ask for more joy. Ask for more love. Ask for more music. One of the things I always say to Alicia is, when's your next album? Okay, great. 12 Rebirth is out. Yes. What's the next one? More, please. More, please. This idea of rebirth is we are always light, and we are always moving into more light. We are always becoming more light. There is this ever expansive, beautiful flow of energy that is always wanting to move through us and out into this physical experience. And we just need to get out of our own delusion, our own sleepiness. Step out of the fog and feel the truth of this light is us, expanding always, bringing us more always. So are we willing to receive? Are we willing to believe that is true and flow with that expansion? And it's okay. Sometimes we're like, yeah and no. yes, oh no. It's okay. It's okay. The more we trust that it's just going to keep expanding and getting better, the more we're going to create that. The more we're going to ask for, the more we're going to receive, the more we're going to become. That's rebirth. It's just a constant regeneration of more love, more light. It's amazing, miraculous, so damn good. It's so good. And if you don't believe me, listen to Alicia's album and tune into the vibration of more. Like, it's so good. Here's to beautiful Fridays with sunshine dancing all around us, in us, through us, expanding, touching, radiating, reminding. All of that light. Focus on that this weekend as you move through the full moon in Scorpio. Focus on the light expanding, because it'll just dance its way through that darkness and that shit that you gotta get rid of. It'll just and that is true and real. Okay, here's to a beautiful weekend. I'll be back with you on Monday. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. I invite you to join me in aligning with the optimal health of your mind, body, spirit in the virtual community of Viv's Energy Gym. You can learn more at mysouljourney.com. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.